Hi guys, welcome to A Godly Home. I am going to be making the New England boiled dinner for our St. Patrick's Day meal. And here is my 1 pound of corned beef that I made. If you have not seen that video on how I make that, I'll put the link in the description box. Now, this is in my biggest kettle. Next is going to go the turnip. It takes a little bit of effort to get these wedged in half. And if you don't have the strength to do it, then you can either get your husband to help you, or you can sometimes buy them in the produce department that are already chunked up and peeled. Now these are going to take the longest to cook. That's why they're going to go in next. And I am going to be cooking the entire turnip because the leftovers from this are amazing. And if you're a vegetarian, you can make this meal just by boiling all of your vegetables together. And if you want to, you can put a little bit of veggie broth in there to boost the flavor, or some sort of a vegetarian bouillon, but you probably don't even need to because it's going to make its own flavor. Okay, so I'm just going to peel all of these and then right into the kettle with them. And I got a paper bag that I can drop all my peels in after I'm done peeling each type of vegetable, because I will have a lot of peels for compost. Now, if you're using fresh carrots, carrots will go in next. If you're not using fresh carrots, if you're using frozen, they'll go in last. Okay, now I'm just going to put some water in there. And I'm going to start this boiling because the turnips take the longest. Now, like I say, if you are doing raw carrots, then get this started and start peeling those, because you'll put those in next. And I'm going to put a cover on that kettle. Okay, I'm starting to get a mess going here. The next thing is I want a whole bag of onions. And this is a 2 pound bag. My paper bag is compost, so I'm just going to cut my ends off my onions. I'm going to cut my onions in half, and I'm just going to peel the skin right off. And this is how I peel my onions too, even when I'm not doing them for a boiled dinner. Then I can do whatever from there. It's just a good fast way to get that skin off. If the onion is bigger, you can quarter it. You know, the idea is to have the onions pretty much the same size, whatever you have to do to get that. You may have noticed I've got some bread back there that we're going to be having with the meal, and it's an Irish recipe. It's not a Irish soda bread. It's a different kind of bread. And of course the measurements were all not US standard measurements. And so I played around with the recipe a little bit today, and it tastes great, but I'm not happy with the rise on it. So you won't be seeing that actual recipe until next year, because I won't show you guys recipes until I feel that they are perfect and whatever. But it does taste really good, so I'm excited to perfect that more for next year and be able to share that then. So there we are at the stove. And if you're using just vegetables, then go ahead and put some salt and pepper in this. Okay, next I'm going to do about 3 pounds of potatoes, peeled and whole, right down in there. Okay, that's good and boiling. I'll turn that down just a little bit. I don't want it boiling quite that hard. Okay, and then I'm going to start plopping my potatoes right in there. I do want to add enough water to cover those potatoes, because we don't want dark colored potatoes. Okay, we'll just let that boil. Now you may have guessed it, the next thing on my list is cabbage. And I'm going to cut this cabbage in half before I wash it, because I want to be able to wash the inside layers too. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and cut that core right out of there. Nobody wants the core. Okay, let me go wash these. And I'm going to take the outer leaf off, just because that's probably where there's any pesticides, mostly would be right on the outer leaf. Okay, let me wash these. All right, now I'm just going to chunk this up. this, just a little bit of that core. Okay. Now I'll chunk each chunk up again. The larger ones anyway. Some of those aren't too big. Okay, and I bet you guessed it, right in the kettle. And you're thinking, where's that gonna go? How can you get that all in there? Well, cabbage is going to shrink, so that's no problem. We're gonna let it just come right up to the top like that, mounded. Okay, now I'm using the frozen carrots, so they're gonna go in last. As a reminder, if you're using fresh carrots, then they would go in right after the turnip. The carrots that I'm using were fresh carrots that I blanched and froze myself last week. So they should be every bit as good as the fresh. The only difference is they're cut in wheels, and usually with a boiled dinner, I would cut them in carrot sticks, but that's okay. The carrots were 75 cents a pound at Misfits, and I got a bunch of them and put them in the freezer, and I didn't even think to leave some out, just, fresh for this. Okay, while that's cooking, I'm going to wash up my few dishes, and then I am going to make an Irish tea cake, and I did put the cover back on. And in goes the carrots after the cabbage is cooked down a bit. Here we are. This is a turkey platter full, and you can see with a slotted spoon, I separated out. We've got carrots, the turnip, the cabbage, the potatoes, onions, and extra turnip down there. There's our corned beef. We've got some of that Irish bread we're going to try. And then down there, you'll see the measuring cup. That's called pot liquor. It's the broth from all of this. And you use it like gravy on your plate. Hi. Hi. And I bet you wouldn't have guessed it, but we had all kinds of leftovers. I have enough leftovers for a week's worth of meals, and my friend brought home some leftovers for quite a bit of meals, and then I had 6 canning jars full of broth that I was able to pop into the freezer. Thanks for watching. Bye.